Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Kersti, and I'm shooting with Jungletography today. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so just for starters, just tell us a little bit about yourself, name, where you from,
Okay.
that sort of stuff.
My name is Kersti Pitre. I grew up here in Compton and Long Beach. Been here pretty much forever. I was born in South Africa and came out here when I was 5, and this is pretty much my hometown. I do hair. I make videos on Instagram and YouTube. That's where most people would know my name or my face from. And yeah, I have a husband and a little boy. And yeah.
Cool. All right. So I never knew that you were born in South Africa.
I was.
Do you have any memory at all of being in South Africa as a little girl?
Unfortunately, I have no recollection at all. Like, I cannot remember anything from growing up, being there with my grandma, that's what I heard. I was there with my mom and my grandma and all my cousins. Everybody's out there. So unfortunately, no, I don't have any memory of that. Like, literally, my memories are here in America.
Got it. So your parents were born in South Africa?
My mom was born in South Africa. My father, I believe he was born in Kenya. But yeah, both of them are from the motherland.
Okay, cool. So how did having, I guess, African parents, how did that play a role in your childhood? Like, were you all Afrocentric?
Well, I will say that having my mom being, from Africa, that definitely had a lot of influence in what I do today, because I do braid my hair, and I braid it because she taught me. I grew up wearing braids, grew up around that, so that's probably the biggest connection to Africa that I do have. Other than that, I can't really say what would be too different, because she pretty much, once we both came out here when I was 5, she pretty much adapted to US California type of mind frame lifestyle. So I don't know if all of the African values were kept, but I don't know. I don't think it made too much of a difference. I think that I more so got an experience of living here,
Right.
Yeah.
So like, for example, my girlfriend, her mom and father, they're from Liberia, West Africa. So even though she grew up in America, she still try to oh, you Americans. I'm like, you're American too.
Nah. Well, okay. I will say that my mom, she would do that. She would be like, she's like, oh, you grew up in America and now you do this. I'm like, yo, this is what I know. Yeah. So, but my mom would do that, but that's because she grew up there. Like, she literally grew up there, didn't leave till probably she was 19. So, that was her life. But right. I don't know how that went.
Yeah. What about how was that? Did you have any African culture? Was it embedded in your food, or just the way? I'm pretty sure she had a strong accent, right?
Yeah, my mom had a strong accent. I don't know what it was. I don't know, her story or anything like that. But I know that growing up, we didn't. Maybe because we weren't really seeking to learn the language. She did speak Swahili, and maybe because we didn't Mom, teach us, maybe she didn't, feel the need to teach us that. And there wasn't really many African dishes. I know she cooked beans a lot, but but there wasn't any specific right. This is your roots, this is, that. And I will say at this age, currently, I think about that and I'd be like,
Yeah.
Why you didn't teach me none of this? But you know, I'm old enough now. I can look it up for myself and try to understand my culture myself. You know, but no, it wasn't no kind of African dishes. It was literally like we straight up moved from Africa to Compton, and we grew up in Compton.
I guess once you move to Compton,
like,
you gotta get acclimated fast, huh?
That's kind of how it was. We just were there. Cool. Yeah.
How was it growing up in Compton?
It was cool. Well, I mean, to me, it was cool. It was, you know, some moments, obviously, you know, you're around different, like, you know, it's a little bit dangerous, you know, walking around, but I didn't really, that's what I knew, you know. I walked around the block. We all played outside all the time with the neighbors. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we gonna get shot if we play outside, but growing up, it was cool. You know, looking at it as an adult, I'll say like, oh yeah, I wish we had better teachers, better things to study in school, that type of thing. But I felt like there's a culture in that whole thing in itself, just growing up in Compton, that nobody will get, you know. It's you have to live there. I think it's cool.
Right, because I think most people, like, when they hear Compton,
I think it's like dangerous.
Which it was.
But
you know,
it's not like, oh, you just about to walk and you're gonna get shot. Like, you gotta know what areas you gotta be in, you know, kind of like LA. But I think I grew up around like the border of Bloods and Mexicans. Right. So I kind of, you know, I was in a little bit of a safe zone. Yeah. But even going to Compton swap meet, walking there, like, yeah, I knew it was dangerous, but I still would go. It's not like I was like, oh, I'm not going there. Yeah.
I mean, you live in Compton, like, you have to walk down the street.
Just like in any other country.
Exactly.
You live there.
Exactly, but, you know, Compton is definitely known for its, like, gangs and all that stuff. So
it is.
How did you, I guess, this is me assuming you did, but how did you, I guess, navigate away from that environment, although you were, you know, immersed in it?
Sports. Sports. My mom and my stepfather, they kind of kept me in sports pretty much since I was like maybe 7. I was in track, so they had me running, you know, with track teams and Imani. So they had me busy with that, and then that I kind of kept that with me when I went to middle school, when I went to high school, because that was kind of the only thing that, you know, kept me either from being bored and doing some dumb stuff. And yeah, so sports kept me where I needed to be. It kept me with who I needed to know and who I didn't need to know, because everybody played sports in school, but good people and bad people. So.
Well, how would you describe your friends growing up that, you know, also in Compton? Like, did they lives sort of go astray, or did they like get caught up in the life, or did they maneuver, or did they make it out? Like,
I think. No, not I think. I know a lot of my friends from high school, majority of them are kind of living like normal, you know, like normal lives with their families. Some have went on to do, you know, some big things for themselves. Some are chefs, some are in sports, some are doing hair. You know, we have one girl, she's like a founder doing runway classes for girls in Compton, you know. So a few of them have, you know, took it far and beyond and really put a positive light, you know, on the city. And others that I did kick it with, they're, you know, they're living normal lives, families. Like, nobody has went to jail, like, you know, that I know of. Everybody's pretty cool. Like, they kind of, maybe it was my crowd. Maybe my crowd was more chill.
That's good. That's great. You know, normal life.
I'm sorry to say normal life. Does that sound bad?
No. When I think of normal life, I think that's actually a normal life. Well, for me personally, where I come from is like just gang culture, honestly. But a normal life in terms of, you know, like a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
If I have kids, family.
Yeah.
That's great, especially when I just on my behalf, like, that's awesome, because I have many friends who have, you know, have fallen, like, to their demise, you know, due to whatever.
Drugs, gangs,
drugs,
everything.
gangs, You know, so it's like when I hear normal life outside of, you know, the real normal life, you know, how we should live, that's great, you know, because many of my friends haven't.
Yeah, no, it's pretty, like I said, that's pretty normal for a majority of my friends. I mean, we all have our ups and downs, but nothing like that. Nobody's been taken to jail or that I know of. Like,
that's a good life right there.
Yeah, no, they pretty blessed.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Compton High School and I went to Dominguez High School. So I went to Dominguez for 2 years and then Compton High for 2 years.
Okay, cool. So, did you think about college at all?
No.
No.
To be honest, at first I did. My senior year in high school at Dominguez, I did have an interest in track, like a very big interest in track, a very big interest in sports healing and sports medicine. So I was interested in going to Northridge, taking their kinesiology program. Like that was what I was gonna do. But then I didn't graduate from high school and I just dropped out pretty much. I didn't go for the last 3 weeks.
So you went to high school all 4 years and fluked the last 3 weeks. That's what you're telling me.
I did it because I found out that I didn't pass California high school exit exam.
Oh, the Casey.
And I missed it by 5 points. And I did my retakes, and same thing with the retakes. I missed them by so many points, and I found out after I already went to prom, after I already did all the fun stuff, and I'm just looking at everybody getting ready for graduation and buying their caps, and they're like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to graduate." But I passed classes, I just didn't pass that.
I was just about to ask.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So you passed the course.
I passed my classes, but I didn't pass that. So I stopped going.
Yeah.
Because I was upset. I felt like I was bamboozled. Like I was really upset and I didn't want to go. So I just got a job at McDonald's, and then I worked my butt off and got a spot by my husband.
Right. How do you feel about people who say like, it could be high school, mainly college, but how do you just feel about people in general who say like, you know, school is not for everybody? Because some people feel like you have to have school to be successful, but then we know there's so many millionaires who dropped out of high school as well, or who didn't finish.
I'll say that what I've learned now is that it's not that you need school. I think that you use school as a tool, you know, to refine what it is that you are already like blessed at. Like my son, he's great at building stuff. He has a mind that he can see he'll see a CD, right? You know, a CD, you open it and take it out, and he'll figure out a different way to use that for something else. Like you'll be sitting there like, you just made a bridge for your cars out of a CD case, you know? So he would need to probably go to school to take maybe a special science class to like refine that. So in my opinion, I feel that people who say that, they don't know better, because you don't need school.
Right.
You can learn stuff in the day and age we're in. You can learn what you need to learn on YouTube. You just proved it. You learned how to set up a mic. Like you can learn a lot without going to school. You can learn a lot doing stuff online, you know?
Yeah, this is a new age we live in, you know, with all this modern technology and social media. So
I'm not saying don't go to school, go to high school, do whatever, but if you are in that mind, if you are in a mature mind state where you already know, like, Mom, I know I'm 16, but this is what I want to do. Like, this is my passion. Like, I know I'm going to be successful at it. Like, you've already proven to the world and your parents, like, look, you see what I've already done. Homeschool me and let me do this full time, so they, you know, by the time we be graduating, we don't have nothing set up for ourselves, and it's be, you know, it's a mess.
What about kids who, let's say, they don't want to finish school, but they also don't know what they want to do in life?
Okay.
What would you suggest to them?
I would say that everybody has something. Everybody has something that they can that they already like doing. I don't care if it is, you know, that your neighbor likes playing video games. And in this day and age, you can make a business teaching people how to play video games. If you know how to play the best video games, you could teach somebody. So at this day and age, if my son was like, Mom, I don't want to go to school no more, but I don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna tell him, okay, well, finish your class and let's figure out what it is that you could do. Like, do you like to draw? Do you like to cook? We gonna make a list. And if none of your things is on that list, then we gonna figure it out. But I wouldn't like force my child to like just go. Yeah. You know, I want him to learn, obviously, but I want him to know what he wants to do. Yeah.
I'm glad you answered that, because that was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
Like, what if he Mom,
no, me and my husband will sit down with him and we will figure out, well, what is it that you want to do, because that's your options.
Right.
You go to school until you can say, this is what I want to do. Because that's what happens to some people. They go to school, find out that they didn't like none of that stuff, and it kind of sharpened what they did like, and they said, this is what I want to do.
Oh, one of the reasons, I guess one of the main reasons I would just like, I guess, advocate for school is like, just, you know, we young, black. I feel like education is just the way out. And not that, it may not interest you, because half the stuff they teach us we can't even use in real life. But it's like, what, you know, America judges by paper, you feel me? So it's like, what about when you want to go get that job, or does that force you to, you know, be your own boss?
Well, I'll tell you my experience. Me not graduating, that definitely didn't look good. Trying to get jobs. Yeah, McDonald's hired me, but I didn't have a job. I mean, I didn't have my GED. I didn't have a high school diploma. I hadn't even thought of working towards it yet, because I was still in a funk, like, oh, I didn't graduate, whatever. So that definitely kind of put a hinder on my job search. And it ended up forcing me to say, all right, well, I guess I better go finish up some courses and try to get this GED so I can get more money in the next job that I want to get, you know? So
you did get your GED?
I did end up getting it. Okay. Yeah, I got it like 2 years, I think, 2 or 3 years later.
Right. But you got it.
But I got it.
So I ended up. You was talking about school, you still.
I know. I
got that GED.
Hey, I'm telling you.
That's all I wanted to find out.
Yeah, I ended up going to get it because at the end of the day, I hadn't thought about what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do hair and none of that stuff. Like, I was gonna be just the most normalest 9-to-5 girl in the world, and they was like, sorry, you at least need a GED.
Right.
So
you do admit that you at least
need a GED.
Got it. That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna move on a little bit. So where did I know you said your mom taught you how to braid, or she kind of influenced you in that way? Yeah.
My mom, she did teach me how to braid. My sisters how to braid. And the way that I really learned is because I'm the oldest. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna start their hair and then you finish it type of situation. So that's kind of how I learned. And then I just would braid my own hair or press out my own hair. You know, it was that kind of vibe. Like, yeah, she taught us how to braid. She would, like I said, she would start my sister's hair and then ask me to finish. I'm the oldest, so I would end up doing it. Or she would be like, oh, do your sister's hair, and I'll do their hair. So growing up, that's kind of what happened. And one has thick hair, one has some thin hair. So I'm learning both textures. And then now, you know, I just implemented what I learned, and then YouTube, and then trial and error. Right. And now I do my own hair, and I could do other people's hair.
So what would you say, like, the actual, like, not just your mom, be like, oh, do the hair. Oh. Where did your actual passion come from? Or did it come from?
Well, honestly, I did my hair because maybe in 2012, like, there was a whole natural hair movement that just blasted, and everybody's like, oh, I'm doing a big chop, I'm cutting my hair, I'm going natural, and
the 70s all over.
Yeah, and I wasn't there yet. I was like, I'm not cutting my hair. Like, I liked my hair straight. I liked it with the little bleach and all of that. So I wasn't ready to do that, but I was ready to make it curly and accept my curls, accept all of that about me. And in doing that, I kind of got to learn my hair. I know it might sound weird, but I kind of got to learn my hair if you get what I'm saying. And so I said, well, let me try this hairstyle. I did my hair in some twists, and next thing I know, all these people were hitting me up saying, oh, can you do my hair? Can you do my hair? And then I did their hair, and they would feel so beautiful. They'd be like, oh my God, like I love this. And that kind of is what always stuck with me. And I'm like, well, dang, if I could, inflict that kind of feeling on people, like I love this, like I could do this all day.
And make money at the same time.
Yeah. So that's kind of what, really sold me, because I see that transformation, happening. And then at the end, they're just like in love with themselves. Like they just feel beautiful. And then they're doing something that's not like, oh, you're a sellout to your culture or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Right. So they still look beautiful. So that's where that whole passion blossomed, is because I got to see reactions, and then I know how I feel.
Right.
When I do my hair, I feel beautiful.
Speaking of that, what I guess what advice would you give to, young ladies who may feel insecure about themselves or may have low self-esteem because they don't feel that they're beautiful, or they don't have this kind of hair, or whatever the case may be?
Well, the number one thing I would say is that everybody has their own type of beauty. Everybody is beautiful, okay? Don't look at me and be like, oh, I want to be that type of beautiful, because my type of beautiful is not somebody else's, oh, she's beautiful. I'm probably ugly to somebody. You don't know. So I would just encourage somebody to look at themselves, like encourage yourself. Just look in the mirror and be like, I am beautiful. I would just tell them, like, everybody's made different. Everybody has different hair. Everybody has different skin. Somebody got a bigger nose, but that don't make you uglier. That all stems from somebody who have insecurities in themselves, who, put that into you. So I would encourage them to look in the mirror. Doing my hair, oh, that boosted my confidence like 1,000%. I say that all the time now. At the end of my videos, I always say, stay channeling the beauty that's with the inside of you. I say that because braiding my hair taught me how to appreciate my beauty. I didn't like some of my features about my own face. A lot of people say, oh, you're beautiful, but I don't like certain things. And doing my hair taught me to look at myself, look in the mirror, taught me to figure out what looks good. So look in the mirror is what I would tell people. And you start touching your hair, start, I don't know, get in tune with your body and your face. You will begin to like, I am beautiful. Why did I ever listen to Sally? I am beautiful. Like, I'm sorry. And then I would just tell them, like, you go tell somebody, whoever told you, whatever they told you, say, you made me feel worthless. You made me feel ugly, and I'm not ugly. God made me, how I am, and, and I accept who I am. Just walk in that.
Facts.
Yeah.
So, I was going through your Instagram.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
How you go?
Nah, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad.
Okay.
Yeah, not to, twist you up or nothing. But I know you say your mom, influenced you or helped teach you. Also see, says self-taught braider. So do you have like your own style of braiding, or like, could you elaborate on that?
So I put a whole lot of emphasis on self-taught because I literally sit and watch YouTube videos all day. I mean, I do, but I still do my job. But I literally sit and watch YouTube videos all day. I want to learn how to do a style, like this style I have in my hair.
What's that style called?
It's called knotless box braids. All over Instagram, all over YouTube, but nobody is doing it on themselves. My angle, I'm about to do it on myself because I'm not about to pay $400 to get this done. So I'm gonna try to figure it out, and if I can't, I'm gonna practice on a mannequin head. So I put a lot of emphasis on self-taught just because I'm gonna figure out how to do this. I already have my motivator that looking in the mirror, learning myself, that has built my confidence, and in that, I wanted other people to build their confidence. So that's why I'm over here trying to get other people to braid their hair so you can learn to love your hair. Some people don't want to sit there and braid their hair because they don't appreciate their nappy hair. They just, oh, it's nappy. Girl, you better braid that hair up. So I don't have no particular style, like, like, oh, that's definitely her. Most people know my face from Fulani braids. If you don't know, what that is. It is a African braid style where there's like braids coming to the front and braids go to the back. So a lot of people associate me with that style because I posted one picture and it got spread everywhere. Essence, Cosmopolitan, like everybody was reposting it, and I got so many braiders hitting me up saying, oh my God, you don't know how many times people show me your picture, so that way they can get their hair braided like that. So that style is definitely the #1 style where people say, oh, that's a Kersti style. But other than that, no, there's nothing that totally separates me besides the fact that I do it myself.
So this was just one, it was a video or a photo? And it kind of just blew up or went viral?
Yeah, well, both. Yeah. The photo went viral because Essence, they posted it all over their magazine online, and they posted it all over their page. And other in the hair in Instagram world, you know, they got all these hair pages, so they just repost all the bomb hairstyles that just came out or whatever, and my picture was everywhere. And then I make videos too, so the video has over like 1.4 views on YouTube. So like that was like my highest.
Million?
I'm sorry.
Like, hold on.
Let me clear. The video has over 1 million views on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, and yeah, and I worked hard for that. So yeah, it went like very viral, and I wasn't expecting that because I just thought it was a regular braid style, nothing crazy.
Was that your, like, I guess, first?
Yes.
Viral? Okay.
Yes. And that kind of made me, let me see if we can go farther.
Well, since we're in the age of social media, what year was this, and how many followers did you have at that time?
At that time, okay, that was definitely a 2016.
Okay. So not too
that was definitely 2016, and I think I don't think I had my Instagram for that long, and I maybe 10,000. JJ? Okay, I don't know.
Hey, 10,000 is a lot. People be like, what? 10,000?
Maybe 10,000 followers. Okay. Maybe. And my YouTube, maybe 10,000 subscribers.
How long were you doing, I guess, these videos before this first big viral one?
I think that what did I do before that? I think I only had maybe 3 prior videos to that. Mm-hmm. And that was probably my 4th or 5th one. So I really had just started doing it.
So did you have it in your head, like, I want to make videos? Was it just a hobby? Like, how did that come about?
Well, actually, my son, we had him in acting, right? We had him going to, commercial auditions and stuff like that. And my husband ended up getting a camera. And because he got this camera, he was taking his pictures and all this stuff, right? And then as I started doing people's hair, he would take pictures of people's hair. Mm. And then one day, we filmed with his camera, and that made some money on YouTube. So we was like, oh, let's go ahead and continue filming. But it really was because we needed money. So that's really kind of how that kind of happened. But
it worked out perfect.
It worked out perfectly. So no, it was never, I'm about to start a YouTube. It was more like, oh, we need some more money. Let's start a YouTube. I needed more clients. So I started the YouTube so I could film braiding clients' hair. You get what I'm saying? Because if you look, that was some of the videos that I posted. So yeah, we started it to get more clients, which would be more money. And that was that. It wasn't to be like famous. It was just to get more clients.
Shout out to YouTube. I'm trying to get to that level too.
Oh, and now, like, I'm telling you, at that point, that one style, like I said, it was like 10,000 subscribers. And now I have 114,000 subscribers. And it just blew up.
That's a lot of people. So when you post a video now on YouTube, mm-hmm. Is it just like instantly viral, or is it hit or miss, or like what's usually the average reaction?
So right now, it does take a little bit. It takes a couple days depending on the style. Like if it's like this style because it's hot, like everybody's been looking for it, it's going off. Like in 3 days, I'll have 20,000 views. But if it's like something nobody's really checking for, it'll have like 5,000 in a week.
Do you get mad when it's like when you don't get that reaction that you, I guess, expect or accustomed to getting?
I don't get mad. If you ask my husband, I do. But I do take it a little personal just because I felt like, dang, I worked hard on that. Right. Go watch this video right now. But then I have to kind of do my homework, you know, and be like, all right, let me go see why it didn't explode the way I wanted it to, you know.
So when you do your homework, what are some of the observations that you notice?
Well, I'll check out what words I used. I check out the angles. I check out the lighting, the sound. I check out the braid, the way I braided. Sometimes, well, I've tested it. If I post a video of me braiding at this angle, it goes like that. Like on Instagram, I'll post separate videos, you know, just to see, like, let me see which one.
Gotta test it out.
Yeah, and I'll post an angle that I never would have thought, and then all of a sudden it get 100,000 views on Instagram. And then I say, okay, let me go post this other angle that I was originally gonna use, and then it don't do so well. So it teaches me like, okay, so this looks easier to understand when I shoot from this angle. My goal is to teach people to do it. Right. So that's probably why they didn't like it, because they couldn't understand what I was doing or see what I was doing. So I look at all those things, like, did I explain it good enough? Like, if I am a person who does not know a thing about braiding, a thing about hair, if I watch this, will I understand? So that's kind of what I do.
That's good marketing research, though, because, you know, that's what these big companies out there doing to us. They seeing what we react to, how fast, what content we just eat up. You know, so.
Don't even get me started. I worked for a big hair company. I mean, a big.
If you don't mind me asking.
I don't know if we can keep it on camera.
All right.
But I will tell you.
Don't tell me.
I'll tell you off camera. I worked for a big hair company, and yeah, they did their research. They did their research on what hairstyles were trending. I was a part of that social media team. That was my job, to literally look at Instagram and YouTube all day and see like, oh, well, let's see what styles are trending. Let's see what colors might be popular, so they could put out that braiding hair. No, it's cool. So they would look to see like, oh, let's see what's gonna be popping for spring. Let's see what's gonna happen for summer. You know, like they have the whole team, and I am blessed that as a black person I got to go into that community, because not a lot of black people get invited into those companies to be a part of that, and they're selling to us. So to be able to be in there, like I got a firsthand look at seeing like how they research, and they do it by looking at our Instagrams and our YouTubes, and you know, that's how they figure it out, and then they market it to us.
Everything is just so accessible today. It's like,
I
always joke, like even with the police, it's like they don't have to go out in the streets and drive no more.
No.
I could just go on YouTube or Instagram and Facebook and see
where the last location was,
who you're talking to, where you ate at last, and you know, we give it.
Yeah, we give it, and the thing is, like, I don't want to use it as an excuse for us, especially like in the beauty world, because right now, like, it's a whole bunch of drama going on with beauty supply stores and companies that are not black owned selling to black people, but not knowing a thing about this culture, but still wanting to sell to us, and then being in our neighborhood harassing us when we come into your store, but you don't want to take the time to understand anything. So like, it's a whole bunch of drama going on. So to be able to work in the company, to understand and see how stuff was happening, I was like, oh, that's how it goes.
I noticed that a long time ago though, you know, like all the stores be owned by, but let's say the stores in the neighborhoods that's, you know, population is majority black people. You have these businesses, even the liquor stores and all of that, you know. It's like, you market to us, you're located in our neighborhood, yet we don't get treated with no kind of respect.
None.
You just want our money. It's like they literally see us as a dollar value.
That's all they see us as, and the reason is because like we gonna spend the money. Unfortunately, we allow it, and it's messed up. Like I was just telling my husband, like There's a beauty supply store. I hate going to that beauty supply store. I hate it, but it's the only one here close in the proximity to where we live. But I hate going to it because every time I go into the store, this lady does the same thing every single time. One person's at the register and the other lady is literally at the door.
I already know.
And I am not a confrontational person, but it makes me want to like go over there and be like, yo, why don't you ask me what do I want? Yeah. Why don't you say, hey, what are you looking for? Let me help you out.
Make sure you don't steal.
Yeah, but it just...
You make me want to steal.
You make me want to knock all this stuff over and say, F your store. So anyways, that's just to my point that it is like, you know, they don't have no problem, and I'm going to say steal. Whatever. I mean, nowadays you have to trademark every single thing that you do and say, because that's your word, that's your phrase, that's your hairstyle that you came up with. So nowadays it's like, if you don't trademark it, it's free will for any race, for any company to just go ahead and take. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of hairstyles, and I've seen it, I see it happen all the time. There's a lot of styles that new braiders are coming up with, right? And they are like going all over the place. And these companies, let's make a prototype of that. This is what's popular. Let's make a prototype of that. They didn't trademark the name. Let's call it exactly that. I've seen it happen like four different times within the last 2 years. And you know, a lot of people, they tried to boycott the companies, but
legally you can't even.
It didn't work because I don't know if the people who did the hairstyles came up with trademarks and all that stuff. So I don't think it did because the hair is still on the shelves. Yeah. So you know, they were. What I'm trying to say is that social media, it's like they're key to go ahead and look into our lives and be like, well, that looks like that's it, and we're gonna go ahead and take that idea and sell it back to you people.
So yeah, that's crazy. So
they doing them dirty.
Lately, you know, a theme, especially in I guess the African American community, like the underlying theme is like ownership. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like, with you knowing what we just discussed.
Yeah.
Like, first, do you own anything, or are you in process to like, you know, getting your own beauty supply or salon or?
That is, I will tell you this. No, I don't own anything now, but my goal, and I've shared this with my husband. Like, I want to be able to sell, like, you know, stuff in a store, like a beauty supply store, but I don't want it to be called Kersti's Beauty Supply, like how you see it on the corner. We wanted to tease beauty supply. I want it to be like a Ulta, a big Sephora, where it's gonna be a bunch of Black-owned products, where it's gonna be like, you know, humongous. Like, I want it to be like that level. So that's my goal, to get a store like that, you know, sell products.
You gonna make it happen. You just gotta, you know.
I am, and I'm gonna start with my own products first. So that's what I'm about to. That's our goal right now. Create products and then get a store and make it big like Sephora.
Right. Considering, I guess, you know, your large following, have you had anyone, you know, like reach out to you like, hey, I would like to fund this, or I would like to, you know, just really just try to
invest.
Yes, invest.
No. No.
Yeah. Bother you, or it doesn't matter, or?
Well, you know what I'll say is this. Maybe I haven't made it completely known yet to the public of my true desire yet, because like we just talked about it, nowadays you put stuff out. Oh, that's my idea. I'm about to do that, you know? And so it's like, you have to be mindful of who you share the stuff with, but no, nobody's like clawing to be an investor yet, but that's kind of the goal right now, is to get these videos out, like, you know, make it look so good that it's like, they can't help but be like, what do you want? You need.
What's your 5-year goal, and then what's your just long term, like 15, 20 years from now?
Okay, well, we'll start with the short term. I guess we'll say short term, the 5-year. 5-year goal for me is to be.
Okay, sorry. 1-year goal first.
Oh, okay. 1-year goal is to.
This day next year.
This day next year, I want to be creating and manufacturing my own products. That's my 1-year goal. to be able to manufacture and create in a mass production of my own products. And 5 years from now, I want to have a location and online facility that's selling my products and other people's products online and in stores. I want to have an office where I'm going to have a photography studio on one level, my office space on one level, and our warehouse in another area. That's a 5 year. And then link up with other people, like help people start their businesses. Like that's where my office will be. Like we're going to consult, say, hey, this is what you could do. Here's some marketing advice. So I want it to be rounded. You know, me and my husband and my son, like we kind of a team. We are a team, not kind of.
I was going to say that earlier. Y'all
we're a team, you know. He does photography, I do this. But together we can bless people with our knowledge. So that's my goal. In 5 years, I want to be at the level to share. I will. I'm going to be at the level to share, you know, like, hey, you guys want to do this? This is what you need to do. Like, let's set you up, you know. That's where I want to be.
Got it.
Yeah.
I guess to wrap it up,
okay.
Any, I don't know, anything you'd like to share that we didn't touch already, or anything just like to say?
Well, I would just say that, you know, I'm proud of myself for making it this far. You know, a lot like we kind of talked about earlier, you know, some people who do grow up in wherever we grew up in, you know, don't. They don't. Some people don't really do nothing with their lives as far as. Well, wait. You know, let me not say that because I don't want to make it seem like you being a admin or whatever is not important, because that may be important to you. But I'm proud of myself to where I've made it, and I'm thankful for everybody that's like been supportive of that. And you know,
and you're doing something you love.
I'm doing something that I really do enjoy, and I can't see myself not doing it, because this I really like doing this. I like learning more about this and then getting better, and I can't wait to see where it goes in 10 years. But mostly just to say thank you to everybody for supporting, because people don't have to support you. People don't have to do anything.
Oh, I have a question about that. What do you say to people who feel like they don't receive support? So like, just quick instance, my friend, this is when I was like about all the lights and stuff. She told me like, yo, don't worry about the people who don't support.
Yeah.
Don't feed them no energy.
No.
You know, just focus on the few people that are supporting you.
Well, you pretty much just took the words out of my mouth, because but that's real. I'll just share my own examples. Like, I literally left my mom's house, the day I turned 18. I left because I had my own goals. I had my own things that I wanted to do. Yeah, I didn't graduate, but I still knew I didn't want to live there, and I wanted to be in a different energy. I wanted to be in a different space, and the only person I had was literally myself and my husband. He wasn't my husband at the time, but it was literally just us. And I had a drive because I knew, like, I'm never gonna be homeless again. I'm not about to be in that type of situation. I don't want any child that I have to be in that type of situation. I want us to be, you know, okay, you know? So anyways, I would just, you know, just tell people, like, if you don't have support, like, be your own support. And if you can't, like, if you don't feel like your own support enough, you already got 2 jobs, you already done asked every single person that you could ask for a loan, like, and you done built up your credit, you done all these things, like, reach out to more people. Keep reaching out. Like, if so many people around my neighborhood, my own sisters, me, we didn't have no uncles and aunties and mommies, daddies giving us no money. Like, oh, this is your dream, baby. Here, let me help you out. It's like, oh, okay, you good? You'll figure it out. Mom, it didn't work out. Okay, well, get another job. Maybe you should go to another field. You know, that's what happens sometimes in our community. I feel like it's like, oh, that didn't work out. Or we're pressured to do things like, oh, you just gotta be an athlete, or oh, you just gotta be a singer, or maybe you need to just go model, and you start modeling and then start going into porn because modeling didn't work out. I'm just saying, if you don't feel like you have support, like you do, you just have to really seek out support. Like, there's something that I saw, it said,
don't be discouraged.
Don't be discouraged. And then there's something that I saw, it said, when you're looking for opportunity, Your opportunity, you'll find opportunity. When you're looking to be mad, you will find a reason to be mad. When you are looking for somebody to support you, you're gonna find somebody to support you. Like, people like doing that stuff. There are people that are out there just to support people. Like, but we just don't know them yet. You know, obviously, we still here filming, but there are people who will support you. So, you know, I don't care. This day and age, we got Instagram, you got social media. Like, post your video. Right. Because you don't know who's gonna watch it.
All it takes is one person.
All it takes is one person. Like, I just seen this girl. She made a design on some backpacks for this makeup person. She created her own makeup line. This woman bought 5,000 of these girls' backpacks. And them backpacks.
Had the money to get them all made. Like.
That's what I was thinking. Like, do you have the money to produce all of those backpacks? Do you know what I'm saying? So all it takes is one. So I would tell anybody, if you don't feel like you have support, you know, don't focus on that. Don't focus on focus on what you do have. You do have good credit. Maybe you can get a loan. Maybe you know your boss can write you a recommendation letter. Maybe you know that you are that good at this and you've been interning. Maybe you know you did good. Maybe they can write you something. I don't know, but there is opportunity always, like, for somebody to help you out. And, you know, hustle. You're gonna have to hustle. Nothing that you want is just gonna come so easy. Like, and that's the other thing. Nothing that you want to do is just gonna be super easy. It's gonna be hard to see, like, do you really want to do this? Do you really want to do hair? Do you really want to make products? That wasn't fun.
Look, it was on the side.
JJ, shut up. I mean,
her story.
I was. We was homeless.
Richards was her name. Last name was Richards.
She said we, bro.
Me.
Come on, we.
Like, me, my family.
Oh.
My mom and us 5 kids.
You mind speaking on
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, so.
How old were you?
I was it 11th grade. 11th grade. I guess my mom, I don't know the whole deal. All I know is just what ended up happening was we was staying, you know, at this person's house, and then, you know, we staying here. I think when my mom broke up with when they split, we wasn't staying at that spot no more. So from there, we was just staying at random families' houses. And at one point, we was staying at our cousin's, like, tax office, like a legit office space. And we slept there because that's what we had. And then for, for maybe a couple months, my mom had, like, vouchers. So we was staying at Motel 6 over there in Downey. We were staying there for a long time, so I guess pretty much throughout my senior year. Throughout my senior year. At the end of my senior year, my mom, she ended up getting Section 8 housing, so we did end up moving at the end.
Shout out to Section 8.
She ended up getting Section 8, which was a blessing because for me, I'm a teenager, like a teenage girl. I'm sorry, I know everybody has their own experiences and there's different levels of homelessness, but, like, to me, I was like, dang, I can't invite nobody over. Even if I did have friends, like, I can't invite nobody over, can't just kick it. And it's not like if I was going places with people and I was having them drop me off, it's like I'm about to be like, oh, drop me off at the Motel 6. Yeah, and that did happen one time.
Nah, I just gotta get some food for my mom.
Yeah, like.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, that did happen. Like, that did happen. We was, you know, I went out with friends one day and then come back. And I was like, oh, y'all could just drop me off right here. And the mom was like, oh, you don't want me to? I'm like, no, it's okay. This is where we live. And then before she ended up getting the Section 8 housing, we ended up living in like a group housing. So it was like a group housing. So we had to live with, like, other people who lived there too. Right. And I didn't like that. Like, I don't think you like anything.
Did that, I guess, mold you, or did it, like, influence you to, like, I gotta succeed, or, like,
because it wasn't just me, like, it was my mom, it was my younger brothers and my younger sisters, like, all of us, you know, had to experience going through that for almost 2 years, that made me, like I said, I moved out when I was 18. I was like, I'm not about to play no games. I'm about to get a job. I'm about to do whatever I can do so I never have to experience having to either depend on somebody ever again in my life. Like, if I'm gonna be homeless, it's gonna be because I messed it up. And
not on no one else's watch.
Not on nobody else's watch. And it made me, like, if you ask my husband, like, he was like, that's what attracted me to you, was your drive. You was motivated. You was like, I'm about to go here. He was calling me.
Be homeless,
no, I'm telling you, stop playing, okay? But I'm telling you, it makes you see what's more important. Like, when I first got my job and stuff, you know, I was over here trying to buy vans and buy this and buy that. But that made me be like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna save this money. You know, I'm not gonna go nowhere. I wasn't going nowhere. 18, 19, 20, 21. I was at home. I was chilling. Like, but that made me, like I said, it gave me a drive to just be like, you know what, that was an experience I don't want to experience again. Whether we slept in our car, slept in a hotel, it ain't safe staying in hotels, especially not motels. I'm not talking about no Sheratons. It was like motels.
Motel 6.
Motel 8, motel. It was just called motel. Like, it wasn't safe. It was prostitution happening around there. It was a mess. So and I'm a teenager. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we walking around all of that and having to go get food from McDonald's, whatever. Like, we legit ate McDonald's for breakfast like every other morning.
The good thing is that was just a phase.
Yeah.
And it helped to motivate you.
It did. It gave me a drive to like know that no matter what, I'm never gonna put myself or my family in that situation. I know things happen, but I don't ever want anybody to experience feeling like you don't have a bed or a place that you can lay your head. Right. You know, that you can't feel safe. Right. You need to feel safe.
Yeah.
I don't
Stability
care.
is everything.
Yeah.
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 Thank you for, for the time
today. Oh, thank you guys for watching the interview. That's the end. I'm Kersti, Jungletography. Follow us on social media. We're going to link it somewhere. And to everybody who's watching this, like, stay motivated, stay encouraged. You got this. Okay?
All right. See you later.
All right. That was good.